and welcome to yet another edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com, with me as your host, Chris. My money's on Akita McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Joining me today to talk about the news that Haruka Abe has joined the cast of the upcoming G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie is Justin, don't call me Abe Bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. Just a few moments ago, news surfaced that a new cast member, Haruka Abe, had been added to the upcoming G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie, but the character is being kept under wraps for now. The 34-year-old Tokyo-born London-based actor has appeared in a number of films and TV shows, including The Cyberbully, 47 Ronin, Kiss Me First, Emerald City, and Silent Witness. It is unclear as to why they are withholding a character for the time being, but it could be anything from a new role to a plot spoiler. With all that said, Justin, who do you think she could be? Let's get straight into it.
Absolutely. Well, I think the most obvious choice is possibly Jinx. I mean, that could certainly be a potential role for her, I would think, depending on how they tie in that piece of, the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow mythology. I don't know if they will dig that deep or not, but I think that's certainly a possibility.
I mean, when we discussed the fantasy casting, there were a couple of new characters that were kind of brought up, including, I think, Akita was one of the female new kind of roles.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think she was like the head of security and all that kind of stuff. And we threw out a few names. I think Juju Chan was in there. There were a few others that we kind of threw about for that particular character. And but I this could possibly be because they're trying to keep what kind of strikes me is the fact that they're keeping this a secret for now, which seems odd when we know who Snake Eyes is, we know who Storm Shadow is, we know who the Baroness is. So my only real reasoning behind them not divulging this information is either because it's a plot spoiler, B, it could be that she's a new character and they don't want to give that information away just yet, or C, it could be a controversial decision. Now, they haven't necessarily, and I only say controversial because of the way the fandom reacts to these changes, but we've already had, obviously, Snake Eyes as Henry Golding. Clearly it's it's a race change scenario from what we know Snake Eyes' original character to have been in pretty much everything else that we've ever had from G.I. Joe. Do you think it could be possible that we're looking at a Scarlet here?
Well, that's a thought. I mean, that didn't really occur to me, but that is entirely possible. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be tying in Scarlet to this particular part of the G.I. Joe mythology in the film or not. I think it would certainly make sense, but I'm not sure if that's who this is. Anything is possible. I'm
just throwing it out there just so the bases are covered. But personally, I think my money's going to be on a new character. I think that's where I feel like it's more than likely, what we're going to be seeing. The fact that we have had, we've had the Baroness, we've had Snake Eyes, we've had Storm Shadow, and we've had little bits and pieces here like a sumo wrestler and a street fighter and Yakuza and all this kind of stuff. We're not really, we haven't really got so much now that we can definitely pin it to that script that was leaked earlier.
Right.
So, I'm kind of, it could be Akita or it could be something completely different. And this is all speculation. Absolutely. It's all speculation at this stage anyway.
Yeah. And when they say the role is being kept under wraps, I mean, that might not be because that it's supposed to be top secret. It may just be that whatever source gave them this information doesn't want to reveal that piece of it, and maybe revealing that piece would also reveal who the source is or something. I mean, who knows what the reasons could be. But
that's a very good point, actually, because the actual article didn't necessarily say official this and official that. It was like the person that told us this. So
exactly.
So that is another very good point, and probably why we haven't had that information come through yet. Interesting though, and it's nice to see that the casting is moving along, especially when they're filming in like a week or so, or 2 weeks.
I know.
I'm wondering whether a lot of casting has been done and we just don't know about it. I'm hoping that's the case.
I would almost certainly say that is the case. It has to be something along those lines. If they truly are starting to film this month, then certainly the casting has been done or is done and has been done for a while, and we just don't know it yet. And I mean, there's reasons why stuff like this leaks, and there's reasons why stuff doesn't leak. I mean, there's hundreds of movies in production currently that have casts starting to be put together that we know nothing about. So I'm sure there was stuff going on, and there's just they're that you get to a point in production when you can no longer hide some of this stuff. So, obviously it's going to start getting out there.
You can guarantee one thing about the Full Force: we know nothing about anything. So
absolutely, that's a tag. You should put that in the tag.
Oh, it's in Latin. It's in Latin under the. I don't know why it's in Latin, but yes.
I was going to put you on the spot and say, okay, what is that? We know nothing in Latin.
That would be like e pluribus nothing. Anyway, I it's difficult to get excited when you don't know what the character is going to be. There's a lot of things in here that we're just not really sure about, and also, this particular actor, Haruka, I just don't know much about her actual background. I've looked at like her IMDb and I've kind of gone, okay, she was in 47 Ronin, she was in Silent Witness, which is a BBC kind of police procedural show in the UK. Yeah. She's been in a bunch of different things, and it's hard to really get a grasp on, what she's actually really famous for. So, it's difficult at this stage to be like, cool, but at least we're getting some info, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, she's been relatively active since about 2007. It's just in a bunch of things that we haven't really heard of. It's funny, her Wikipedia page kind of carves out one of her highlights is appearing in a music video for a Clean Bandit song, which has gained over 530 million views on YouTube as a kind of highlight.
That's really cool, and I've got to find that now. Thanks, Justin.
Sure.
No, that's really cool. So, okay, I'm gonna finish on. I want you to pin down, like, if you're a betting man, what do you think? What does your heart tell you Haruka's going to be in terms of character-wise in this film?
My heart tells me she's going to be Jinx, even though I could easily see her being Akita or one of the other new characters. But I'm going to go with Jinx.
Okay, you're going with Jinx. I'm going to throw my hat on a new character. I'm going to say Akita for now, but obviously that could be different. It could be a completely different name, different character in general. We will see, I suppose. And usually with these things, I'm going to be wrong. Like there's like always my hunches are always crap, but I'm going to go with a new character. Anyway, Justin, thanks for jumping on to chat really quickly about the new casting news.
Absolutely, anytime.
Well, not anytime, because obviously you've got to work and you have a family. But sometimes when we've given you plenty of notice, right?
Of course. At least 15 minutes.
Exactly. That was true, actually. It was only 15 minutes ago that I told you to get your butt onto this show. Anyway, that's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host, Justin Bell. See you next time, and as always, full notice. Short notice. Short force. Brilliant.
There you go.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.